Happy Valentine's Day, Patience and Thelma. It's good to join us on the AM News. Now, the 2027 presidential National Assembly election is to hold in February 2027, while that of the governorship and state houses of assembly elections is scheduled for March 2027. INEC Chairman Professor Joash Amupiton announced this at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The release of the notice of elections and schedule of activities for the 2027 general election is taken pursuant to the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended and Section 28 of the Electoral Act 2022, which mandate INEC to publish the notice of election not later than 360 days before the date appointed for the election.
The Commission hereby sets in motion the electoral process for the 2027 general election and fixes the date of the 2027 general election as follows. 1. Presidential and National Assembly election will come on the 20th February 2027. 2. Governorship and State Houses of Assembly will be 6 March 2027.
The INEC chairman also reacts to the current electoral amendment bill that is pending in the National Assembly.
It is imperative to note that while we are eager to adopt any amendments that may strengthen our electoral processes, we must also act in accordance with the existing provisions of the Electoral Acts.
Political parties are strongly advised to adhere strictly to the timelines. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
And in response to persistent water scarcity affecting military communities, and as part of efforts to strengthen civil-military relations, the National Defense College Officers' Wives Association has donated solar-powered boreholes with a combined capacity of 76,500 litres at the college residential accommodations in Ushafa and Gwavimpa, Abuja. The coordinator of the association, Hawa Ahmed, while inaugurating the projects, described the gesture as central to the association's humanitarian mission, noting that the intervention is aimed at providing sustainable and environmentally friendly solutions to the recurring water challenges faced by residents.
The Ushafa women told me that they want the commandant to help them because most of the blocks used to buy water, and you know they have small children. Initially the commandant wanted to do 2, but they couldn't get water there, so we managed to get 1 at that Protestant church. But by God's grace, hopefully by June they will come back and do another one.
Access to clean water and reliable water is not merely a convenience, it is a necessity. It is fundamental to health and a genuine commitment to enhancing the living conditions within the barracks.
We, as a church and community, pray that the good Lord will bless the commandant, all the officers and men under his command, and the Lord will grant him good health and prosper the work of his hands in Jesus' name.
Unveiled a newly refurbished NDC kitchen and urged members of the benefiting communities to imbibe a strong maintenance culture to ensure the facilities are properly managed and serve their intended purpose for years to come. And in a renewed show of solidarity and purpose, members of the Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association now have gathered to strengthen bonds, review progress, and set a clear direction for the future. And this was the focus of the 2026 Executive General Meeting.
Members of the Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association now gathered for the 2026 Executive General Meeting to review progress and chart a renewed course for the new year. At the center of deliberation were key issues bordering on welfare, unity within the association, collective commitment to the advancement of NAOA, and consolidating the gains achieved over the past year.
We must continue to prioritize the well-being of our members, widows, and vulnerable families. Our support system must remain responsive and organized. Compassion must guide our actions. but structure must guide our delivery. My vision remains consistent to build a united and innovative NAOA that supports military families through self-reliance and sustainable livelihoods.
Women are bound to be lonely in their marriage because the men are not always there. And one of the things that we've discovered is some of them are now like, what is the way out? And there are no ways for them to ask questions. So the leadership of NAWA should wake up to their responsibility and see how they can keep their doors open for this set of women, because they are still young and naive. And we all know that marriage institution is really a lot on women.
The two-day event climaxed with a dinner where the commit to sustain growth, greater impact, and a brighter year ahead.
Similarly, the Nigerian Air Force says providing quality housing is paramount to ensuring that personnel thrive personally and professionally. Now, the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sunday Anike, made this known at the inauguration of Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar NAF Officers' Quarters, Karimo, and Airmen Quarters, Gariki in Abuja. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports.
Just like the saying that home is the shelter from all sorts of storms, the Soldier First concept highlights that operational effectiveness stems from the well-being and professional fulfillment of troops, directly linking to improved combat performance. Against this background, the Air Chief is emphasizing that personnel welfare is a key pillar for transforming the Nigerian Air Force into a professional force, as unmet needs can compromise duty, and investing in welfare is crucial for morale and strategic thinking.
Under the visionary leadership of the 23rd Chief of the Air Staff, we have seen commendable policies focused on improving personnel welfare, fostering excellence, and renewed infrastructural development.
As members of the Nigerian Air Force, you dedicate your lives to serving our nation, often under challenging circumstances. It is therefore our duty to ensure that you and your family have a comfortable and secure place to call home.
The Chief of the Air Staff lauded President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his unflinching support for the Nigerian Air Force, while welfare will be given priority with a view to addressing basic needs that will prevent distractions, as professionalism is supported when personnel feel valued. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Nigeria is accelerating access to electricity with the deployment of solar mini-grids to more communities. Joshua Ojito reports that the latest intervention in FCT communities is being supported by the Korean government.
Drums rolled, songs filled the air as the people of Rubochi and Ikwa communities in the Federal Capital Territory celebrate a new era with bulbs switched on to power the rural economy. This means longer business hours and improved services.
The light is very good.
I've started business which I was staying at home. Now I'm doing mineral business and also selling clothes.
The 1 megawatt solar mini grid, supported by the Korean government, is expected to light up 4,000 homes, businesses, and public facilities.
We are keen about providing electricity to communities through mini-grid, solar home system.
For projects that are the federal government funded totally, we have the renewable asset management company. So that asset management company would be the holder of this asset and employ an operation and maintenance agency to manage on its behalf, in which the collection from the sale of the electrons will be kept to replace the asset at the time of their end of life.
We are very much committed to continuing our contribution.
For the residents of the two communities, this is more than electricity. It is hope, it is progress, and it is a brighter future. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
And the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners is calling for the implementation and domestication of the Nigerian urban and regional planning law in all the states of the Federation. underscoring that this will provide the much-needed robust legal framework and administration of planning in the country. Now, this was part of the submissions of the president of the institute at the press conference in Abuja, where he emphasized the need for sustainable development of towns, cities and regions, calling on NUC, NAPTEP, Council for Colleges of Education to entrench the culture of ensuring that universities, polytechnics and colleges of education have campus master plans.
When a campus master plan is prepared and followed religiously, our high institutions will exactly become what they ought to be. And of course, it's going to be in the interest of the Nigerian people.
The Institute also frowned at the current practice of some states using Geographic Information System, GIS, in a bid to assert the town planning in the states, noting that planning provides the overall framework for towns and cities to develop.
An end to itself, but a means to an end. It's always known that if you want anything to do with town planning, you go to town planning department of the ministry at the state level. If you want anything to do with lands department, you go straight to the lands department. But now, all these traditional technical departments are being collapsed under Geographic Information System. And we said it is not proper.
Also emphasized that GIS is merely a tool used by planners and cannot be taken to any higher status by state governments to replace planning in any states of the Federation. And that's it on the AM News.